EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now Trubisky to throw on second. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10 right at the 30.
Lucky 56.
Now the rookie from NC State, this is Naeem Hines. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, here's Rosen. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Akeem Hicks in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, it's Rosen. And he's going to go down again. Eddie Goldman in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. On 4th down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory. They'll start things on first with Tariq Cohen.
And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
If indeed the Chicago Bears were looking for a nice change-up to Jordan Howard at running back, they found it in Tariq Cohen. I'm telling you, this guy is shifty, quick. Even though he's small in stature, some people have called him the latest human joystick.
How about that? That'll be fun for Madden players. Just 5'6", but as you said, he can move. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Robert Kimdichie never giving up. He's able to keep working and get him for a loss of 12. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon. From the shotgun is Trubisky. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to get this deep onto Arizona's side of the field. Trubisky finding White on a big play. 61 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. They run. This is Cohen. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. There to stop him was Darius Leonard.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
Watch him. Hey, 18. Hey, 18.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Burton. And I think the ball's out. And this is recovered by the Cardinals.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. They begin the drive with Hines. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Eddie Goldman in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Set. 319. 319.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Here's Andy Lee now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he's able to get it out of there. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Burton. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good gain before he's taken down. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Here's Trubisky. Flush to his right. And this one hauled in by Will Tye. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
180. 18.
On 1st down, Trubisky. He rifles one that's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
After the interception, here's Rosen. Fitzgerald's got it right side. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. And that one results in 35 yards. The Cardinals into the red zone for the first time. This is 1st and goal from about the 8. Here's Hines on the toss play. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. On 2nd down, Rosen. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Robert Woods, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals are in for 6. Dawson able to connect on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Lock in.
On 2nd down, Trubisky. And his throw is going to be incomplete. The veteran Byron Maxwell forcing the incompletion. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Hey, 18. Ran, so. 18. Ran, so.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. To the right side, complete to Miller. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
It felt like Mitchell Trubisky, the quarterback for the Bears, was in the draft room with his general manager because picking up this pass catcher from Memphis, Anthony Miller, made to order for a young quarterback. A nice slot who can make plays like we just saw.
He is fun to watch. Went from being a walk-on in Memphis to completely rewriting the record books out wide. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. The Cardinals will take over at their 20-yard line. So out now come the Cardinals. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
Watch him now, Barney.
On play action, Rosen. They got a man over the middle. It's Woods. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Two minutes remain here in the first half. More from the desert after this. Now Rosen on 1st down. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Eddie Goldman getting him once again. His 3rd sack of the afternoon. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Gun!
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. He's going to float this one deep right side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
Set! 3-19! 3-19! Gun!
3rd and long here for Rosen. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Miller on the catch over the middle. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his. And
trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the veteran Antoine Bethea. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Rosen on 1st and 10. And Gresham has it left side. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Now Rosen to throw on 2nd down. And this is caught at the 8. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. They'll go with the keeper. And no signal, but I don't think he got the surge behind center. No, he's going to be kept out of the end zone.
Oh, yeah, good surge defensively. Sometimes you can just tell by the way a quarterback lines his feet up behind center. He's going to try and sneak it in. And they catch him here and stop him for no gain.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. He's at the 30, 10, 5, and they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. So from one end zone all the way to the other. Talk about a turnaround.
And how about the excitement that play generates for his team? Not just the points on the board, but the momentum and taking it from coast to coast, end zone to end zone. What a tremendous play. Now get that man an oxygen tent.
That's your boy Old Mo. You said momentum, right?
Old Mo, I think he was kind of limping across at the end because of that distance, but he made it.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
19 seconds showing to play in the half as they come up here 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
Back to the air, Rosen after the pick 6. And he fires one that's intercepted. Deion Bush with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Red, go, 180. Come on, gotta
After the interception, here's Trubisky. Throw left side complete. It's Burton. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This from 44 yards out, left hash. And Parkey's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. Now, the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
He finds an opening past the 40 as they finally wrangle him in at the 48. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Detroit!
Here's Rosen to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And that one results in 35 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not
pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now a toss play. It's Hines. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Eddie Jackson picks it. Woods, the intended receiver. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They begin the drive on the ground with Cohen. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Right back to him on first down. And he's got room. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
18.
From midfield now, here's Trubisky. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Lock in. Hey, gotta go.
Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. Flushed out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, it's Cohen. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's taken down inside the 30. 10 more there and another first down.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
Well, anytime it's a toss or a pitch play, it's a battle for the edges. Who's going to control the edge of the line of scrimmage? In other words, can the defensive guys hold their leverage? What we were always taught was keep your outside arm or outside shoulder free if you were playing on the play side, meaning the ball coming towards you. And anyone coming from the backside, they're pinching down and sliding down towards it to try and keep people kind of locked into one spot. And boy, what a great defensive play there. Worn out leverage, running to the football from the inside out, turned into a big loss of yardage. Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Watch it now, Barney.
On 3rd down, that's Cohen. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the 3rd quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll run forward Tariq Cohen. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Bears will extend their lead. Parkey adds the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This is T.J. Logan to return it. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession, and to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A gain of 39 that time. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in.
And he fights his way in, not giving up, and it's a Cardinal touchdown. Nyheim Hines, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals have cut it to within a score. Dawson tacks on the point after. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here.
319! 319!
They'll start with a give to Cohen, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Again, it's Cohen. Space to maneuver at the 40. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
This is Cohen, and he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Credit the tackle there to Aaron Lynch. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney! Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Off the toss, Cohen. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload that you and I both know. Well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now Cohen, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. This is Howard on 2nd down. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
Throwing on 3rd down, Daniel. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. And the spin looked pretty, but more for style points as the real estate evaporated quickly there. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. So on comes the kicker, Cody Parkey, in a big spot. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Now Rosen. Fitzgerald bringing it in over the middle. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down. So they go from one 42-yard line to the other as they come up now 1st and 10. They'll look to throw on 1st down with Josh Rosen. He's going to let this one go. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirt.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Pretty move. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 14. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing.
We got three. Over!
They try again with Cohen. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Watch it now, Barney!
On third down, it's Cohen. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Here's Marquette King now, standing just outside his own goal line. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. They'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go,
And that's caught inside the 30. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's. And that's exactly what they did there.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. They'll look to throw. This is caught. 23 yards on the play. Well, I guess at the very least, they got the tackle from keeping him out of the end zone.
Yeah, you're looking for that silver lining, aren't you? But guess what? Everything changes now after that big play. They've got a chance to strike.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he
takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. One possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that one, Oh, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw, and it'll wind up being intercepted.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Down to a knee. Here's the Cardinals look to let the clock roll. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Arizona, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Seattle Seahawks come to town. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they too will exit with a 2-1 record. And they'll look